Magic is the ability and the skill to control and manipulate the infinite energy that surrounds us in everyday lives. Magic.
So, witchcraft, right? That's what you do in your free time. Well, I'm gonna give you an amazing gift. I'm gonna share with you some knowledge that's incredible. The way to manipulate energy, to manipulate the infinite energy that surrounds us in everyday lives. That's witchcraft. Witchcraft is an ancient technique or a set of techniques that enable us to communicate with the spirits, to enable us to use spirits as a stream of energy. They will give us the way to do whatever we desire. So basically, you can do whatever you want with witchcraft. Witchcraft is very wide, and you can use these abilities in many ways. You can improve your relationships with witchcraft. You can improve your business life with witchcraft. You can, whatever, you can become wealthy if you desire with witchcraft. Now, you may ask yourself, how come this guy is not playing the stock market or anything with witchcraft? And of course I do. I do. Also, cryptocurrency is very volatile and very good for witchcraft, and also the stock market, and also trade and business and relationships, and also pleasure. You can definitely enhance your pleasure life with witchcraft. I mean, witchcraft is pretty amazing, and I think that you should definitely consider it, and I mean you are, because you are watching this video. So yeah, definitely you should consider witchcraft. Now, the thing about witchcraft is that, just like many other tools, any other technology, basically, you can always use it to the good or to the bad, right? You can always be a white pointed hat witch or a black pointed hat witch. So you need to decide for yourself. Obviously, in this course, I will share with you some of the white pointed hat witch stuff. There I will show you ways to do good and to perform altruism and to help with these techniques, but obviously you can continue your research further later and consider a darker path if you so desire. I mean, you do whatever you want, but I would advise otherwise, because one thing to understand about witchcraft and the whole thing that we are doing here is that we are basically playing with fire. We are playing with very powerful sources, with very powerful things of nature that we may or may not understand to the fullest, right? And we are doing all kinds of things that, you should think about if you want to play this game, and if you do, you need to think about which direction you go, if you go to the darker side or to the lighter side. That's very deep questions that you need to ask yourself, and we will touch later on these subjects as we on the more ethics side of witchcraft in the later stages of the course. So, but for now, just think about it. So I said that witchcraft will enable you to do all kinds of things, but how exactly are you going to do it? So basically, witches use spells and they use rituals to do that, to manipulate the energy of the world, the infinite energy that surrounds us. That's also called the alchemy or magic, this ability to manipulate this energy that surrounds us. So they do all kinds of rituals and they do all kinds of things, and we are going to talk about all of this stuff in this course, what exactly you need to do and how you can perform rituals. And there's the whole social aspect of witchcraft, the whole coven thing. Basically, there are covens, there are like secret societies all over. I promise you that even in your hometown and even where you live, especially if you live in a big city, but also in small towns all over the world, especially in the US, there are many covens. I personally been to several covens, and all kinds of covens. Covens are these groups of witches that perform ritual to go together, And many times these are women, many times these are groups of women that perform rituals, and sometimes they do all kinds of crazy stuff, sometimes they are naked, they do these rituals naked, sometimes they could offer some offering in the form of some dead animal or something, and all kinds of crazy stuff are going on in these secret societies, and really it could become pretty crazy as you go down the rabbit hole. I mean, there's a whole sex, everything that's related to sex, and it just goes downhill from there. So in this course, however, we are going to focus on Wicca. Now, Wicca is a particular way to perform witchcraft. It's more of a religion or a belief system or a philosophy that focuses on a particular path to reaching your desires and your wishes. And I think that, if you desire to go down that road, the road of spirituality and the road of, getting acquainted with the higher realms and all of that, you need to choose a path. And there are many, many paths to that, and one way is witchcraft, and one way is Wicca, and that's the path that I'll be focusing on in this course. So Wicca is basically more of a religion or a belief system that people share, that witches share, and it's more of a pagan religion. It's unlike the Christianity or Judaism or Islam, where they have monotheistic religions. They have one God. So in Wicca and in witchcraft, we are talking about several gods. We are talking about a pagan religion. They have all these crazy gods, and the cool thing about witchcraft, witchcraft is very, very fluid in the sense that you can choose whatever gods you want. It doesn't really matter. I mean, those gods are basically our own symbolism, our own manifestations of something higher. It's basically our way of understanding something that's beyond ourselves. So some religions choose to do it with one god, or do it with several demigods or whatever, and you choose your own demigods, or not, or you can follow Christianity and enrich Christianity with all kinds of crazy stuff, and basically use Christianity as a way to acquaint yourself with the higher realms and all of that, or not, or do it in another religion or another way. It doesn't really matter exactly, the names and labels that we put on things, or the beliefs that we believe in. It doesn't matter that much. What matters is how we communicate with all these spirits, that live in the higher realms. We are basically assuming there's a whole thing going on that's beyond what we see and what we experience in our day-to-day lives. That's the assumption, the premise that we use in this course. And also, basically, I think every religion, every belief system, every philosophy that incorporates, either God or something like that, is assuming that there is something that's beyond our senses. And that's also what we are going to do here in this course. We are going to assume that. Not only are we going to assume that, we are going to take several steps further. We are going much, much higher than that. We are going to use all kinds of things. We are going to use all kinds of tools and all kinds of rituals and all kinds of systems, and maybe even incorporate other people into our techniques in order to manipulate these energies, in order to communicate with these spirits and use their assistance in order to promote whatever it is we desire. And we can do everything in a very egoistic way, just thinking about ourselves and using these techniques in order to promote our desires. But also we can do it in a more altruistic way. We can help others. There are a lot of things that good witch do, that white pointed hat witches do, they basically help the dead. There's the whole thing that's related to the dead, and what happens after you die and all of that. I have other courses that talk about that, but in this course we are going to focus on Wicca and witchcraft, and we are going to talk about how to do all of that. So in order to conclude, this introduction, basically, this course is amazing, and this course is going to teach you a lot of cool stuff, and is going to help you in many, many ways that you can't even believe. You don't even think about it now, but it's going to help you in relationships. It's going to help you in your workplace, in your business. It's going to help you in any way you wish. It's wonderful, and that's basically the gift that I'm offering here. After researching all these things for many, many years, and trying, going to covens, trying performing, spells and rituals myself, and exploring all of that for several years, I can tell you that from personal experience that incorporating all these teachings and this ancient knowledge that goes back thousands of years, it's going to really, really improve your life in many ways that you so desire. So, enjoy.
Magic is the ability and the skill to control and manipulate the infinite energy that surrounds us in everyday lives.